Hi, and welcome to my little corner of the internet. I'm Supersoxs, and thanks for watching my new video. Now, this week I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to tell you a story, and this story I think works really well with a game that I'm playing. Now, the story I'm about to tell you has been passed down to me through generations. Some say there's truth to this tale. I'm not going to suggest either way whether it's true or not, but I want to tell you this tale of hope lost, simply so that you can maybe one day share it, pass it on to anyone else that you think is worthy to hear such an interesting tale. This is the story of the crew of the Temperance, and how the best intentions can often have the worst outcomes. How in the darkness of despair, strands of hopeful light can be grasped to raise man and beast from the darkness. This is the story of difficult choices, impossible choices, of mutiny, leadership, and loss in the harshest of environment. This is the story of the ice that breaks, the ice that binds, and this is the story of the Pale Beyond. We start, like any good story, right at the beginning. Robin Shaw, fresh from the Admiralty, finds an advert for an expedition seeking a crew. Wanting to prove his worth as a sailor, he seeks an audience with the captain. Captain Hunt, a kindly man who clearly has the trust of the crew, speaks in soft tones as he tells Shaw the reason for their voyage. The voyage is to the south of the globe, the land of ice and snow, where all life hangs in the balance. The expedition is to locate what remains of the Temperance's sister ship, the Viscount, that disappeared on its way to the south of the globe going on 5 years ago. The captain's eyes sparkle through leathery skin and bushels of white hair as he describes the task at hand to Shaw. Clearly a man of the sea, excited by what lies ahead. Rumours abound that there was a surviving member of the Viscount, and before they passed, they shared the last known coordinates. The plan is to follow these coordinates in the hope that they will find some evidence of the missing vessel. But Shaw cannot shake the feeling all is not as it seems. The captain is hiding something. Shaw has become first mate, and the Temperance is to leave in a month. The open sea and adventure awaits. Shaw spends his first weeks trying to ingratiate himself with the crew. These men and women will be the key to their survival. There is Templeton, a Weasley shrewd man who is the head of the scientific research team and purports to be the spokesperson for the mysterious benefactor funding this mission. There's the Spoke brothers, Junior and Grimley, both notable for their shocks of flame red hair and their undying allegiance to Captain Hunt. There's Hammond, the gruff, hard-nosed, equally hard-working ship's engineer. No matter what is thrown at the ship, Hammond will be on hand to make sure the furnace is still burning bright. Kasha, one of the few civilians on board the Temperance, a wily journalist of immense talent on board to document this brave endeavour. The rather timid, nervous ship's doctor, whilst highly skilled in the matters of medicine, a stiff breeze could easily blow him overboard. Bert, the famous actor and adventurer, the leader of the ship's scouting party, a giant of a man with a voice to match, but the years are slowly taking their toll. Lastly, of the main crew, there is Cordell, the keeper of the sled dogs. Her love for her animals is unmatched as she spends her days aboard the ship, hunkered down with the dogs tending to their every need. The warm glow of the sun and calm seas give way to colder climes, the air stinging the lungs with its chill. the ice pack slowly starting to form ahead of the bow, slowing progress. The moisture-soaked ropes glisten in the wintry sun, creating kaleidoscopic lights across the deck. There is a resounding crash. A groan of wood and metal mixes with the bone-like cracking of ice. The Temperance lurches to a halt, shaking the very core of the vessel. It's clear that the ice has shown its reluctance in allowing the sailors from continuing. With the captain seemingly absent, Shaw rushes to the engine room to ensure the beating heart of the vessel is still in operation. Hammond's mood has clearly darkened, yet assures Shaw and Templeton that the furnace will hold, much to everyone's relief. With the ship trapped in the ice, Shaw and Templeton seek much needed advice from Captain Hunt. Yet reaching the captain's quarters, it's clear Hunt isn't around. Until, from the bathtub, they hear drunken mumbling as the captain shows his face from behind an ornate wooden screen. His face flushed. It's clear he has been drinking for some time as he sways in the bathtub, giggling like an infant. With the Temperance in the ice, it's like something is activated in the captain's mind, his mild-mannered demeanour replaced by panic and anger, mainly at Templeton and this mysterious benefactor of their mission. Words such as no hope, all is lost, no safe passage spill from Hunt's mouth like a deluge. Shaw has never experienced this from a captain, a man the crew must trust to lead them. It must be the alcohol, no other reason for it. The captain just needs to sleep it off and he'll be fine. All of this forgotten and everything will be under control. Sleep comes quickly to Shaw that night, a dreamless sleep that envelops him regardless of the issues of that day. All is still until thud, thud, thud on his cabin door. Shaw awakes to his room bathed in an otherworldly green glow. The thudding continues as Hammond's voice echoes through to him. This most certainly isn't a dream. Hammond enters, the agitation and worry clearly painted on his face. The boiler is overheating. Without crew intervention, the whole thing is going to blow. The lights from the Aurora bathe everything in this alien glow. As Templeton, Shaw and Hammond meet in the captain's cabin, something is now very much amiss, as there is no longer the smell of alcohol in the air, no longer a drunk in the bathtub, no longer a captain present. It dawns on the three men that the captain has abandoned ship, and not just him, several of the crew followed. The sense of tension in Shaw's voice is palpable as he makes his first decision as acting captain. The crew must be alerted immediately to their current predicament, and it's all hands on deck to resolve the boiler issues. Shaw and the crew make their way to the boiler room, the heat extreme, the fire roaring within the furnace, the ear-splitting squeal of steam fighting its way out of pipes and valves. The crew spend the night manning the valves, twisting and turning them to release pressure as best they can, as the beast of the boiler fights their every move, ready to unleash hell's wrath on them. Every muscle in Shaw's body aches as hour after hour goes by. Eventually the pressure subsides, not before claiming its one victim. Higgs, taking the full brunt of a jet of steam burning his face, almost melting him with boiling water. Yet the ship is safe. For now. It's been a week since the ship became stuck in the ice. The crew gossip, food starts to run out. The furnace requires more and more fuel to keep running. Shaw senses the unease, the mistrust growing amongst the sailors. They demand answers, a way forward. They want their captain. They want a vote. They want to know that they have a captain they can rely on. Shaw has no choice but to allow the vote to go ahead, his heart beating out of his chest as the votes are cast. Does he have the faith of enough of the crew? If not, who's going to take over? The votes are counted. 1 for Hunt, 3 for Shaw. 1 person abstains. Now it's 5 for Hunt, 9 for Shaw. With 1 vote to go, it's tied 9 apiece. Shaw can feel his shirt clinging to him with nervous sweat. Kasha, the remaining crew member, steps forward and casts their vote. Captain Robin Shaw's first task is to formulate a plan and answer the crew's burning questions. Where is the captain? Is he dead? What do we focus on now? Can we get out of the ice? Shaw does his best to alleviate the fears and concerns the crew has. Whilst the captain isn't dead, they don't know where he is. But they will not give up on Hunt and the other crew members. But that being said, their main focus for right now is to stay alive. That means food and fuel, maybe even finding a way forward. The crew have their tasks. As everyone dissipates, Templeton looks to Shaw disapprovingly. It's clear he didn't want the truth to be shared and questions Shaw's decisions. This could come back to hurt them all. Over the coming days, the crew work hard. All hands on deck. They must survive this. They must. Food is gathered. Coal is shovelled. Shaw works with members of the crew to extract resources from other rooms locked away in the belly of the ship. Rooms that are the first to submit to the vice-like grip of the ice pack. Much needed tools, food and medicine are found. Shaw even allows for a group of men to try and break the Temperance free from the claws of the ice, even though they know that it may be futile. Shaw knows that the spark of hope, no matter how small, can build morale. Expeditions onto the ice packs are conducted. scouts seeking key hunting locations for the likes of seal and penguin, fatty food to warm the sailors' bellies and keep them going just one more day. The weeks go by. The crew, clearly exhausted, freezing and malnourished, continue to function, going through motions day in, day out, like automatons, pre-programmed to carry out task after task. Hunt, scout, cook, shovel. Hunt, scout, cook, shovel. Food is rationed, leading to further malnutrition. Fuel is rationed, leading to temperatures on board dropping further. Pushing the crew out further on expeditions leads to frostbite. The doctor taking more and more casualties. Shaw is trying his hardest to balance the needs of the crew with the work that remains. It's key, all work or all die. It's that simple. The weeks shift from one to the next, like slow-moving ice. More sailors fall ill from scurvy or frostbite, and with these illnesses come the ever-decreasing morale. Yet everyone carries on regardless, hoping for a change in their circumstances, come what may. It's been 4 weeks now stuck in the ice, and the dinner bell rings out in the still of the midday air. The sailors have just barely sat down when the hull screams almost as if in pain, and a fountain of water flows up, soaking everything. There is panic in the eyes of the sailors as Shaw rushes past them all, one thing in his mind. He makes it to the boiler room to see Hammond. 2 words are muttered, just 2. 2 words that no captain ever wants to say. Abandon ship. And a camp is swiftly set up. The sailors do the best they can. With the sled dogs, they still have some hope to move forward in their ventures. They can do this. Night becomes day, their first day at their new base camp. Despite the previous day's trials, Shaw awakes more committed and begins his day dealing with the requests from the crew. No sooner has he arrived at the captain's tent than a thunderous rumble comes from behind him. The rumble turns to splintering. The splintering turns to metal snapping. All of these sounds intermingle, creating a cacophony of pain and violence. Along with the entire crew, Shaw looks towards the Temperance as it begins to be crushed, almost folded into the ice as it can no longer take the pressure. The crew continue to stare dumbfounded. The ship slowly, inch by inch, succumbs to the ice. Shaw looks around and for the first time sees the hope drain from the sailors' eyes. Hope is lost on this day. It is now clear to him that the only thing that matters now is survival.